What we're here for today is to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Hardee County Committee on Aging. I am William C. Schmidt. I'm the chairman / president of the board. I prefer Bill. Please call me Bill. And I will do what I can to have fun today. Hang on a moment, I have some notes. There's something else I was going to say. I'm actually terrified, but we're going to get through this. I do got to tell you that this is an unusual dress for me. I actually had to get on YouTube this morning to figure out how to tie my tie. It's been over 10 years since I've had to wear a tie. YouTube was excellent. It only took me 20 minutes to keep looking at it and looking at it and looking at it. So I hope I present myself as the chair, as the president of the board. Thank you all for that. Okay, I'd like to have a little prayer before we get started. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this opportunity to share this 50th anniversary with these amazing people. We thank you for getting them here safely. We thank you for all your blessings and your guidance in helping the Hardee County Committee on Aging be what it is today. We pray that you bless everyone here. They're very important to us, as they are to you. And if and when we're finished here, it might be a couple days, I hope that you bless them on their way home. Some have traveled short distances. Some have traveled incredibly long distances to share this with us today. We want to thank you, and we pray in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start with our speakers. Our first speaker is Keith McIntosh. He is the regional coordinator for Senator Manchin's office. Keith, would you mind coming up? And if I did any of this wrong, please say something.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How's everybody doing today? As Bill mentioned, my name is Keith McIntosh. I'm a regional coordinator for your senior senator, Joe Manchin III. I cover 8 counties for him in the Potomac Highlands and the Eastern Panhandle. I've been with him since his very first day as United States Senator. And I couldn't be more proud. And he asked me to bring greetings to you all. I was on a call with him this morning, and he's very well aware that I'm here with you on this very special occasion. Greetings from Joe Manchin III, United States Senator. On behalf of the citizens of the Mountain State, and as your United States Senator, it is my distinct honor to join you in celebrating the 50th anniversary of the Hardee County Committee on Aging here in Moorefield, West Virginia. Our seniors work hard to make West Virginia the wonderful place it is today. Therefore, we must ensure that they are all well taken care of in return. For 50 years, the Hardee County Committee on Aging has done just that. This organization has provided a wonderful, welcoming environment that has made a tremendous difference in the lives of countless community members. During today's celebration, I encourage you to recognize the progress that's been made so that we can aspire to an even brighter future for all seniors of West Virginia. I know firsthand from my own family and from meeting so many fine and dedicated people in our state that the experience and wisdom of our senior West Virginians makes our families and communities strong. Senior services were a top priority for me as governor, and still are as your United States Senator. Seniors deserve a good life. And during today's celebration, I hope you can take time to learn more about the needs of area seniors and find out what you can do to help. I appreciate all the staff, Phyllis Cole, volunteers, local residents who have dedicated the time, energy, and resources to this program over the years. Thank you for your ongoing commitment to helping our seniors stay happy, safe, and healthy. Please accept my best wishes and congratulations on this wonderful milestone. With warmest regards, Joe Manchin III, United
history of the Hardin County Committee on Aging. I have a reason for doing that. If you look at the back of your programs, you will see that the agency was created today, November 15, 1973. Today marks the 50th anniversary of the Hardin County Committee on Aging. And we have a special guest here also, a number of special guests. The next speaker would be Darrell Powell. He is the Governor Justice's regional representative for West Virginia's Eastern Panhandle counties. Could we have you up here, sir?
Yes, thank you. It is certainly my pleasure and privilege to be with you today. Thank you for the invitation, Phyllis, board members, county commissioners. I bring with me greetings from Governor Justice on your celebration today. Greetings from Governor Justice. As Governor of the great state of West Virginia, I am honored to acknowledge and celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Hardin County Committee on Aging. Since its establishment in 1973, the Hardin County Committee on Aging has remained dedicated to enhancing the lives of the elderly in the community. Their mission revolves around identifying and nurturing skills, potential abilities, and personal resources of seniors, enabling them to maintain an independent, purposeful, safe, and healthy lifestyle within the comfort of their own homes. I would like to take this moment to extend my heartfelt gratitude to everyone who has played a role in this remarkable initiative. Your unwavering commitment to hard work deserves our utmost commendation. Once again, I warmly welcome you to the 50th anniversary celebration of the Hardin County Committee on Aging. I have every confidence that this exceptional organization will continue to make me a proud impact on the well-being of West Virginia senior citizens for many years to come. Sincerely, Governor Jim Justice. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Collins. Very much appreciated. Okay. Our next speaker is Denise Worley. Denise is the Commissioner of Senior Services for West Virginia. In this capacity, she is the Chief Administrative Officer and oversees all programs and fiscal operations for West Virginia. We want to thank her in the beginning for all of her support. And would you mind coming up and saying something?
So I might be one of those people that Mr. Schmidt referred to traveled a long distance. I'm from Beckley, so I'm down in the southern part of the state, in the coal fields with a few farms, but not as beautiful as what the farms are up here. So I'm about 4 hours from home, but it was a great drive up, and when Senate and Phyllis reached out and provided me with the invitation, I was very honored to be able to come up. So this is not my first trip to Hardin County, but it is my first trip to the Hardin County Senior Center, so I do hope to be able to make it back up. I've only been with the Bureau for about 8 months, but I have traveled a lot up into this northern part of the state and spent a lot of time with the senior centers up here. My background is working in skilled nursing, so it's been a big transition to come over into working with senior centers, but it has been a wonderful experience, and it's very nice to work with good folks like there are here at the Hardin County Senior Center and so many of the others that work so hard to help support our seniors with programs and services that allow them to remain in their home. I worked on that other side and seen them once they got into a facility, so it has just been a wonderful experience and a breath of fresh air to work with folks that are supporting them of being able to stay in their home. So for a 50th year celebration, I think is something that is very exciting for you all, and I think it's there's wonderful things you all do, and we very much enjoy working with you all at the Bureau. I had the opportunity to meet Phyllis, even though I've not been to her center. I had the opportunity to meet her once, not long after I started, and she gave me several words of wisdom that I have kept with me, that I will continue to keep with me as I navigate through my journey. This year is my 50th celebration because I turned 50 this year, so I'm celebrating this year as well. So we are very, very happy to be able to continue to support the seniors in this county. And I have a couple of special recognitions as well from the governor's office, and I have one that is specifically to the Hardy County Committee on Aging, and it is a certificate of recognition. And then Phyllis, I also have a special certificate of recognition for you from the governor. Phyllis Helmick is hereby awarded the certificate of recognition for her 50th anniversary as the director of the Hardy County Committee on Aging. I commend you for your selfless service and your unwavering commitments, which has left a profound impact on your community. Your tireless efforts have improved the lives of countless senior citizens. So thank you.
Thank you. Very, very much appreciated. I do also want to recognize Jacqueline Proctor. She is the Deputy Commissioner for Senior Services for West Virginia. She was kind enough to be with us today. She doesn't want to talk. Appreciate that. Our next speaker is Ashley Anderson. She is the director of the Upper Potomac Area Agency on Aging, Region 8. The Upper Potomac Area Agency on Aging was designed by the West Virginia Bureau of Senior Services to provide the resources necessary to support county services providers in the eastern region of West Virginia. In this capacity, Ashley Anderson administers the state and federal funds that provide for these services via county service providers and is made up of 13 counties. Formidable woman. Ashley, would you come up and say a few words? Thank you.
All right, thank you. So I had every intention of writing down some notes for myself, and I ended up with a sick husband and a sick kid this week, and so I feel like Phyllis will forgive me because Phyllis is the one who's always telling me on the phone that I need to go home. You need to just take care of your kids. Actually, it's go on home. You don't worry about this. Just go home. And she's a very one of my best encouragers as far as being a mom and a professional at the same time. She is definitely somebody who recognizes the work that I need to do at home. So forgive me if I'm scatterbrained for that. As Bill said, I'm the director of the Upper Potomac Area Agency on Aging, and Denise and I have the opportunity to be new to our positions together. I started in January, and I worked for 4 years as the fiscal coordinator before that and the monitor, so I got to be a part of everybody's senior centers, but I feel like, especially since COVID and then stepping into this new role, I've been able to be very much more present in the senior centers, and I feel that that's what makes the paperwork and the grants and the budgeting bearable, because we get to go out and see the great work that's being done and really appreciate, and I enjoy it. It's my favorite part of this job. I'm very excited for you to have your 50th anniversary and your 50th year as director. That is very commendable, and I very admire you so much for your commitment to work. Thank you all for the hard work that you do in Hardy County, the folks that work here, board of directors. It is a much needed, important job, and the work you do does not go unrecognized. And Phyllis, I will not still be working when I'm your age. I will be in Florida. You can take that to the bank. I will be in Florida, okay? Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Ashley. For those who might not understand how all this works out, the Hardy County Committee on Aging, the Board of Directors, respond to Ashley and her organization, the Upper Area Agency on Aging, and they respond to the Senior Services of West Virginia. So our grants, our rules, our regulations that seem to change every week for some reason, come from those two upper agencies that try to work hard to keep us organized and straight and doing all the right things. Can be interesting. Okay, we have a speaker, Mr. Bruce Macbeth. I have him down as historian. Mr. Macbeth was instrumental in starting this organization with Phyllis. He was our first chairman of the board. He was on the board from 1973 to 1985. And he helped get a lot of this going, and we very much appreciate it. Bruce is going to come up and fill us in on some amazing things over these past 50 years. Bruce, please.
Thank you. I bring greetings from the Lewis County Committee on Aging and Senior Center, where I'm now located. I moved from Moorfield in October of 2002, having lived here for a little over 30 years. I was called as the pastor of the Moorfield Presbyterian Church and started January 1st, 1972, along with chapels at Cannery and Oakdale Ridge. And we started a senior citizens program, and I was contacted in probably the latter part of 1972 or the early part of 73 by probably your counterparts dealing with Committee on Aging. And we got started, and with several of the people, particularly the people that I remember were Evelyn Bean and Isla Keller. They worked at the Hardy County Health Department, and I was right across the street from where I lived in the Mance, on the corner of Bellman and Washington. And I always referred, they were down in the basement of the courthouse, probably the most unhealthy health department at that time. You know that, Bill.
Oh, we about to fix that.
And so we got started, and I particularly remember interviewing a young woman at the time, Phyllis Helmick, and hired her as director, and that will be 50 years this coming April. And so she's the senior chair or employee of all the committees on aging in the state of West Virginia, which is somewhat. And she's a few years older than I am. You're what?
I'm older than everybody. But only not in my mind.
Right. But when I look at these buildings here, I mean, I was here for the dedication of the Senior Center and some of the other buildings before I officially retired and moved to Weston. But we started out, there was a trailer down here along the railroad, and the fella, and I cannot remember his name, I'm sorry, but he was located in Petersburg and the area committee on aging person for a number of counties at that time. And we went down to Logan, West Virginia. Remember Buffalo Creek disaster, and I piloted a trailer out out of Buffalo Creek. And he bought the pilot and went out and ran. And that became the senior center. Here, they were put them in L shape, and that's how we started, and that's where Phyllis worked. And that initially, and then you see what has happened. It's just, to me, amazing. What has been built here, and the health department next door, and the other buildings. And then we got involved. We heard about a gentleman by the name of E.A. Hawes, who he and his wife lived over in Baker. They had a farm there, they had a house, had no running water. They lived very frugally. He had been, I think, the chair of the Board of Education at one time. They didn't have any children. And they had to go to Harrisonburg for their last years. And they didn't like it. They wanted something to happen here in Hardin County. And so we approached found out that his estate was available to anyone if we could challenge, make a presentation to them. And I think I prepared it probably at least a half dozen times to get to a point where they accepted that. And if we hadn't, the money would have gone to the American Bible Society and someone else. And I always laugh about it, but E.A. Hawes not only left the land at where the apartments are and where their house was on one side, and across, we did a 99-year lease for the fire department, and then the health clinic, and the nursing home. And they just expanded all over this area. But he had stock on the New York Stock Exchange, and he bought stock that was outstanding, using totally out-of-date Wall Street journals from Bob Ludwig, who lived over in that area. And every one of them, and I used Bobby Ludwig, who was a student at Cornell University at the time, but was still working part-time on Wall Street, and eventually full-time and very successful at it. But every one of those stocks were amazing that Mr. Hawes had bought. That's the generosity that happened in that. And so basically it was amazing what we accomplished in this amount of this beginnings. But really Phyllis and the continued committee on aging have done a phenomenal job, and I congratulate you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. That is amazing. Bear with me. People have high voices, people have lower voices. Okay. Our next speaker is Phyllis Hellman.
Oh, yeah, I didn't have to say anything.
Well, you take that and then you say whatever you want. Phyllis is the executive director of the Hardin County Committee on Aging. Phyllis started with the agency on November 15, 1973. So as of today, Phyllis has been part of this organization for 50 years. To give you some perspective, I was 20 when this organization came to me. I realize I don't look like that anymore, but I had no idea that I would be here today, being able to be part of this amazing organization. And I'm very, very proud to be part of this, and to have Phyllis being part of it as long as she has. Phyllis, yell at me.
You're a little bit off on your dates.
A little bit.
Little bit. I was interviewed in April, the way Bruce said, but I didn't go to work until July the 9th, 1974.
Oh my gosh.
So I haven't been here 50 years.
Feels like it.
However, I want to, a couple things that I would like to know is that the floods seem to be the thing that started everything. Governor Archmore, before he left office, allocated a small cities block grant towards the construction of the senior center. Now remember, we were in 2 surplus trailers that Bruce got us for $500 each, and I don't remember how much it cost to get them up here. We didn't have a lot of money in it. But anyway, there was no water here on this street. It was just a vacant lot. How was we going to have a senior center with 2 trailers, no water, and no septic system? Bill, you don't hear this because it was a long time ago and there's no evidence. We borrowed, my husband Toby and I borrowed a backhoe from Bob Fatigue and dug a hole, a line from the trailer to a tank that we installed in the back.
You can stop now.
Was an old gas tank that we got from Sears in Yellowtown, George Burgersville.
Years, Bill.
We had to knock 2 holes in it. I will have to tell you that before we covered up the lines, we had to have the lines laid with the tile and covered with some kind of paper and shale on it. And we waited till Friday evening, about 3 o'clock, to call the sanitation man to come and look at it, because those days on Friday he was real happy. We got it signed document that it was approved. So we covered it up, and it was never located until we built this center, and then I got in trouble. Anyway, we dug the perfect line out to the town, and they hooked us up with water. So we were doing pretty good. At the time, Debbie Sherman and one other lady were hired as CETA personnel. They were paid minimum wage to come and work in a nonprofit. And so Debbie was with me up until just a couple years ago. She should be here today, but I understand she's not feeling too well. Anyway, we served in those trailers for a long time until Bruce helped us find the money to buy the old library up on Winchester Avenue. We sold the trailers, which we paid $500 for. One was $5,000, the other was $10,000, and they still are situated in Hardy County. One upper addition that the man uses as a tool shop, and the other one is still living quarters down Lowtown. We took that money and with that small cities block grant, no, we didn't get the small cities block grant. We raised the money to buy the old library. We were there for some time during the flood, and Governor Archmore came to inspect the area about the flood. And he came to the door of the old library and he said, Miss Helmig, I'm going to ask you one question. I want you to answer yes or no. Okay, sir? Did any of the flood water come in this building? No, not one drop came in. I said, can I step outside and show you where it came? It came right to the door, but not one drop came in. He said, too bad. If the water had come in here, I could have got you money to build that new center that you wanted. Well, he said, since you been honest to me, first off, why is these roads so muddy and dirty? It was because the one thing that the Committee on Aging did during the flood is the mayor came and wanted to know if I knew of anybody that could wash the men that came there, the National Guard could wash their muddy clothes. And I said, well, we would try. So Debbie and I found 3 families that would do that lived outside of town. The National Guard would bring their clothes in the evening, and they would come, these families would come and pick them up, wash their clothes, and take them back. That's what we did during the flood. With the monies, we finally sold the old library, and with the monies that we got from that, the governor did give us a small city block grant that went through Rural Development Authority, and with the sale of the library, we built this building. So we were happy to be back home. And by that time, that's when I got in trouble, when they started digging up and found things out there that should have been there. Of course, Bill, you're not responsible. You had anything to do with it.
Thank God.
He just had to go over there and get him a drink. I had a drink on that.
Okay, the next project that we did, these are not really in order because I'm not really going to tell you about Paul's housing, what those ladies, or Paul's medical, what they've done, and what Pauline continues to do at the nursing home, and what they do over at the health clinic. I always say that was the first baby I gave birth to, and now that child has children of its own. Look what EA Halls is today. I am so proud of what you guys do. We had to fight for that, and we had to fight to get the nursing home because Grant County Nursing Home fought us tooth and nail, EA Halls tooth and nail. We didn't need a nursing home in Hardee County. Well, we got it, and it's doing well and has good reputation. Well, somewhere along there, we got a loan, started with a loan from Farmer's Home because the one that we were going for, 24 units, HUD, the loan first went from HUD, and HUD wanted us to take all of the brick off of the building and make it a 2-story building with no elevator. And I said, no, that was a chicken house. So we switched over to Farmer's Home and reduced it from 24 to 12. And so that's how we got the low-income housing over Baker on Mr. Paul's property. We also have a small community room there that we were able to construct so that tenants can do their laundry, and in the big community room, there's a mini kitchen, a stove, and refrigeration and a sink, so they can invite their families in and have programs there for the residents. These low-income apartments, the one thing I have to tell you is Farmers Home's not going to let somebody like me or Committee on Aging monitor or run a housing project if you've got no experience. So we have a very good, experienced person who continues to manage Hall's apartments for us, and that's Robbie Hart. And we're proud of him. He comes and gives us a report once a month or once a year. There's never any problems. If he needs to put new roofs on or do something, he just takes care of it. Oh, by the way, we got new roofs or we got new parking spaces. Isn't that wonderful? But we still got a few years left on that loan. I think it's about 9, maybe more than that. I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm not going to be managing Paul's apartments. Robbie, you got to keep them.
We're grateful to have it. Thank you.
Then we got the Health and Wellness Center. Well, I had invited Delegate Michael in here every chance I got to talk with him. Harold and I grew up together. He now declares he's older than me. No, he's not. Anyway, I let him believe that. I wanted to build in that patio so that we'd have a place to put some exercise And he kept saying no, no. Well, he called me from Charleston one day and wanted to have me meeting here at the center at 5 o'clock. And he had something to discuss with me, and he was going to bring somebody with him. Well, he scared the dickens out of me because he mentioned that he was going to bring some people from the health department. And I thought, oh Lord, what have I done now? And so I figured I'd go get a hold of the board chairman. So I called him up at the bank where he was working, and I said, could you come down here? I don't know what he's got in mind, but I'm real concerned. Well, we got here around 4 o'clock, Edgel did, and there come in 3 county commissioners smiling like Cheshire cats, and the whole staff of the health department. When you talk about being scared, I really was scared now. And Edgel says, what's going on? I said, I don't know. We went in that room there, and I sat down beside of Edgel where I usually sit at a meeting, and Harold says, no, you come up here and sit beside me. I thought, okay. And he said, you know, you've been bugging me for a long time about money to put equipment in for seniors. And I said, yes, do you have it? He said, do you think $1 million would do it? And I said, what? Well, sure. And I looked up at the calendar, and it was Friday the 13th. And boy, I was upset. And I proceeded to tell him, those people, I thought he went to an awful lot of trouble to pull a trick on me. He said, no, I'm serious. I've got $1 million to build a health and wellness center. Do you think you can do it for that? Well, if somebody comes and asks you that, what are you going to say? Yeah. I have no idea how much $1 million will build. And can you get an architect to do it without paying him up front? Sure. And I prayed real hard, and we went out and looked at that old red house that was over there, and that's where we wanted to put it. Well, first off, we had to get that house torn down, and there was a lot of problems there. We got it done. Harold, the architect died, by the way. We had to get another architect. Needless to say, it got done, but $1 million wouldn't do it, and because he wanted that pool a certain size. And so much space for the health department. We got that done. But it was already $1.5 million. He said, don't worry about it. I have $500,000 for equipment. Go ahead, I'll find some money for the equipment. That's how we got the medical bill, the health and wellness bill paid for with the help of Harold Michael. And I'm real grateful that we got somebody that takes good care of. Bill Ours, of course, takes care of the health department, but he's going to leave us here for long as soon as his new building gets built. We're happy for him. And of course, Morgan Z takes really good care of wellness. I don't know how she does it, but she does, and we're real pleased with her. Now, the next thing that we built, and the board said after this one was built, I couldn't build anything more. Don't come to them with any ideas, it wasn't going to work. The Michael Medical Center. It was built, hopefully, with some help from Harold, but that's when things went kind of crazy in Charleston, and Harold couldn't get us the money. Well, we already had the drawings and it was ready to go, so Edgel and I went to the bank. Again, I was scared to death. We signed a $2.5 million loan. I was worried about $1 million here. I didn't know what I was doing. Edgel says it'll be fine. I believed him. It was fine. And oh, by the way, several months ago, it was paid off. So it's paid for.
Hi, Mom, I gotta go inspect the legal septic system.
Get out of here. A kidney clinic that we lease to WVU, we have a nephrologist who comes and sees people upstairs right now that's the dermatologist, Dr. Hahn, is using. And then we have the eye doctor, so we have a vision clinic. And then we had at one time physical therapy in there. So any physical therapists here that would like some space, we got about 2,500 square feet over there. 2,500? Yeah, it's under 3,000. We rent to you real cheap. We're renting that for anything that is not illegal or immoral. So if anybody has any ideas, we do have 2 floor-to-ceiling mirrors over there, but they're not going to be used for what somebody is using for. We're going to take this out. Presently, we're looking for new dialysis providers, and we've got a lot of people in the county commission, some legislators that are looking to help us find a new provider. And my hopes is if we go too far into the new year, we will have dialysis back there again. And hoping also that we can fill that 2,500 empty space, because that is money that we use, the rent money, a portion of it, about 10%, we use to support the nutrition programs and our other home service programs. I like to be very optimistic and say that we're going to get a lot more money from the state, from Ashley. I have to be realistic. They're not going to have the money to give us. So we have to figure out a way to earn money on our own with some of our facilities. And that's what we've been trying all these years, to build facilities that in time we can have money coming back from. I don't think that will ever happen from mortgage broker, because I don't think we can charge enough to make a profit. She can charge enough to keep it going. That's what we should be happy for. And the other building, if Robbie will hurry up and get it paid for, we might get a few dollars out of that down the road. Now, we can't go begging for EA calls to give us money, because that child is on its own, it takes care of its own, and it takes care of our people. Now, where else in the state of West Virginia can you go there and get services, whether you have any funds to pay for or not, and quality service? I'm very proud of that. So we can't go back and, that doesn't say I won't ask for it sometimes, but I don't expect it. I don't know what the next year has in store for us, but I know that we're going to work hard, and we're going to try to do everything that we can to help our people. And actually, sometimes you might have to slap my fingers, but when somebody needs help, whether they meet the guidelines or not, and they're in dire shape, we're going to help them. I know what you've done in the past. You just turned a blind eye and didn't hear, and I appreciate that. We're here to help people. And the one person I have to apologize will be talking next. I have been teaching, or trying to, I'm not a very good teacher, this young lady to take my place when I retire in the next year and a half. However, on September the 20th, yes, September the 16th, I had that little shenanigan, and of course we have a Monday holiday. She got through everything, plus this shindig that we had today, she had to take full responsibility for. And her job was trying to see that the senior center was going, as well as keeping the in-home service program going. Well, she had everything to take care of. And I think she's done a wonderful job. And I'm real proud of her. And I apologize, but maybe that's the best way to run. Just throw it in the water. And she didn't sink, she come up on top. And I'm really proud of her. Oh, by the way, I made a suggestion to her that Bruce once said to me, and she didn't ball though, I did. Bruce said to me one time after I was hired, now remember, I only had GED, and there was people there still hard to me. But anyway, I asked her, like he asked me, would you like to take a college course? And of course, I went to Ball. She didn't. She said, I'll think about it. And I said, no pressure, I just want to give you the opportunity. And I said, we'll pay for it for you to take one to see if you like it. Well, I didn't hear anything, and I didn't hear anything, so I wasn't going to ask her again in pressure. She came back a couple of weeks later, she says, I enrolled in community college in some business classes, and I got a scholarship. So I am real proud of this girl. She's going to, I said, well, how many classes are you taking? She said, until I get a degree. Now, what else can I do? Thank you. And I didn't mean to talk so long, but if I can get anything out of anybody and let you know what we've done and what we're going to continue to do, I'll do it. If it'll help our seniors, I'll do it. So if I come begging, you better pay attention because I'll get you eventually.
Thank you, Phyllis, for those few words.
Yeah.
Very much appreciated. Hey, these Keith and Phyllis are our history, and I think it's important that you all know, if you hadn't heard it before, I think it's really important. And now that we've sort of pre-introduced Senate Beer Camp, Senate is our senior center director. Senate is running all of this. Senate has helped mostly planning and preparing for everything we're doing today. And as the chair, I couldn't ask for a better person to run the senior center. Phil, Senate, can I get you up to maybe say a few words? Senator.
Thank you. First off, I want to thank my family for putting up with me, especially with planning this. My husband, after he got off work yesterday, and kids after they got off school, they came here and helped set up everything, and I probably drove everyone crazy, so even though they're not here, I want to thank them. I also want to thank Bill for, helping make this day possible, and his attention to detail will drive you insane. But he brought up things that I would have never thought. I also want to thank everybody, all the staff. You guys have been excellent through all of this. You have offered to help. You have pitched in and helped. I have appreciated you guys so much, and you do so much for all of the seniors. It has not gone unrecognized. I have noticed, and I want to thank each and every one of you. You are appreciated. I got to thinking about the fact of the Hardee County Committee on Aging is 50 years and how many people that this organization has helped in 50 years. And I hope we get to celebrate 75 and 100, and then, seeing as how I started doing the math and realizing what my age would be when we celebrate 75 years, I quickly stopped doing math. So, I will be ready for retirement, sorry. I will be looking at it. But that got me thinking that, this organization is bigger than just one person. It's bigger than anybody even, I think, really realizes or puts thought into, because Phyllis had this vision, and it's important that it goes on, because I got to thinking how important it is for the generations that come after us to have this resource to help with, nutrition and being able to come here and get a meal, or in-home services, or shift counseling. It's bigger than all of us, and we have to ensure that it goes on, and I want to ensure that it goes on, and I hope that it's still here when my kids need it. And that really got me thinking, and I'm glad to be a part of this. I really am, and I want to thank Phyllis for having this dream and starting this and being motivated and determined to see that it carries on. And I really hope that it never goes away. So thank you, everyone, for being here and everybody for being a part of this, because we could not do it without anyone. So thank you.
Okay, now I guess it's my turn. There are a number of things I'd like to cover. One of the important things we've just talked about, we have a board, we talked about the UPEAA and the senior services. What I do want to do is I do want to introduce our current board of directors. What the board does is they direct, they guide the organization. We don't come here and do the cooking, we don't come in here and set up the chairs generally. We do our best to guide the organization within all the rules and regulations that we get from the upper agencies. And it's important to me that you all know who these people are. Bobby Armistead is our vice chair. I don't believe he's here today. Brenda Varney is our secretary. Brenda, would you stand up, raise your hand, something? And a lot of you know these people. Okay, Edgel Liller is our treasurer. And I've got to let you know, Edgel, please stand. We have a plaque on this building. This building was dedicated in 1990. And if you look, you will notice Edgel's name is on there. He has been a part of this board for over 3 decades. And we just can't ask for much more than that. Judy Patterson is a director. Judy? Betty Weatherholt is a director, please. And again, if you notice, Betty's name is also on that plaque on this building. Betty has been a part of this organization for over 3 decades. It's just amazing that we have these people. We have Sammy Martin. The others have been here for years. And we have Teresa Sherman. Now, I did want to mention, we do have an ex-director that gave a tremendous amount of time to the board when she was on the board, and she is here with us today. It's Susan Titus. Susan also. Sorry?
You need to recognize all directors that are here.
Oh, yes. Not there yet. But yes. You were one of our directors, sir.
I was for several years, Landon Show.
Okay, Landon Show. Thank you. I tried my best to get everybody's names. Thank you for being here, and thank you for doing what you've done on the board. Betty? Pauline? I'm not too Pauline yet. Yes, I'm not too Pauline yet, but I will be. Pauline was on our board. There's more history for her, and I'll get to some of that. Okay, now Susan also served in our armed forces. So she was instrumental in a lot of ways to this board when she was one of our directors. Okay. Now I want to recognize the employees of the Senior Center and basically the Committee on Aging. I think it's important. They're the ones that do this. They're the ones, you came in here, a lot of you came in while the seniors were sitting down and eating. Our staff prepares that for them, and this is a place for them to come in, be comfortable, be safe, and be a part of the community. So bear with me. Of course, our office staff from the Hardin County Committee on Aging is Phyllis Helmick. She's the executive director. We have Julie Helmick. She's our fiscal assistant for the Committee on Aging. All the other employees work for the Senior Center. They fall under Senate as the Senior Center director. So we have Arlene Kuhn. Arlene is very much like, terrible names, forgive me please. She takes care of the Social Security, Medicare, these people who come in and say, how do I get free Medicare and how do I get money back? And she's the one that has to explain, so it doesn't quite work that way. So as you can imagine, we have a lot of seniors that come in, and that's one of the services that we offer, and Arlene does take care of that.
They all love that free grocery money they advertise. How can I get it?
And they don't like being told you can't. I don't like it. I make some money. Tiffany Fancer. Tiffany, where are you? Are you here? Is she hiding? Okay. Tiffany is our registered nurse
For in-home services. For in-home services.
for in-home services. What that means is that the people that we provide in-home services to, the seniors, if there's any issues when our homemakers go to visit them and there's some need for the nurse, Tiffany comes into play. Tiffany evaluates. Tiffany monitors that program as far as the nursing. Is that correct? Okay. Then we have Norma Lee. Norma? Yes. Norma Lee. And Norma is head of nutrition. She runs the nutrition program and tries to keep her on the invoices, the products that are coming in for the seniors, and things like that. One of the things that she has to deal with is the majority of our seniors want biscuits and gravy, sausage gravy. No, and that comes from the top, not from us. So she's involved in making sure that the nutrition program runs. Okay? Then we have our kitchen staff. And for some reason I didn't print out what I wanted. Okay. Wayne Cleaver is one of our drivers, meal delivery. We have 3 hot and cold trucks that we deliver meals to the seniors that can't or have a need not to come into the center. We have 3 drivers that 5 days a week deliver the meals that the kitchen staff prepares, specifically for the hot and cold trucks, as well as the same meal they prepare for the seniors that come to the center. We have, Debbie Davis. Debbie?
She's not here.
She's not here either. Okay, Debbie is part of our kitchen staff. Charlotte Mongol.
She's not here.
Okay, she's also part of our kitchen staff. Eleanor Mowry.
She's not here.
She's not here. Okay. And I did tell everybody that whether or not you're here, you're going to be recognized for what you do for this organization. Warren Staley is another one of our drivers, delivery meal drivers. Mary Weiss. There she is. Mary, hand up higher. She is part of our kitchen staff.
I'd like to tell you how I got this job. I came in for the farmer's coupons.
Okay. And we
That's
sucked
all
you
I
in, didn't we?
That's all I wanted.
That was it.
I was fired. I got my cards and what just happened?
This is what we resort to get people to come and call us. And we have Phyllis Wolf. Phyllis Wolf is also on our kitchen staff. Phyllis, raise your hand. Now, Phyllis and I are having a bit of controversy because I keep requesting that she be responsible for making me sushi, and she won't do it. I don't understand, but she won't do it. Okay, then we have our homemakers. Now, as I mentioned, what our homemakers do is they go to the seniors' houses and they do a number of things. They might clean, they might wash, they might feed them, they might make sure they have their drugs. They're the ones that actually go to the houses. They're the ones that are on the front line for this organization, taking care of the seniors that can't get in here. Our homemakers are Pamela Baranowski. Is she here? Okay. Sylvia Coons. Yep. Cassandra Kreitz. I was corrected on that. Teresa Kreitz. Donna Davey. I know some of you are here. Diana Jackson. Charlotte Mongol. Roseanne Myers.
They're all working.
Do you have any idea how hard I'm working right now? Suni Omachinsky. Look at that, Suni's here. Okay. We have Casey Scheid. There she is. She's hiding over there in the corner behind the balloons. We have Joyce Wainwright. No. We have Brenda White. No. And we have Mary Wilson. These are the employees of this organization that actually get everything done for us, for the Committee on Aging. And we can't thank them enough. Thank you.
forgot one.
Did I forget one? Who did I forget?
Doris Sherman.
Oh my gosh. Let me find your name, Doris, so I pronounce it right. I missed her name. No, Doris Sherman. My fault. Doris Sherman is actually part of our office staff, and she is the receptionist that has to sit behind that window and deal with some of the very strange seniors that wander in here. She's been doing, how many years have you been with us now?
32 years.
32 years. We have an amazing staff, we really do. Okay, and you have been kind of filled in a little bit on some of the things that the Committee on Aging has done. I want to provide a little more information on the different facilities, and I want to recognize the people that are currently in charge and continue with making the facilities better. Okay, I'm going to start on the Baker side, if you will. That is kind of the majority of the facilities that we built. We first started with the Matthias Baker Fire and Rescue Squad. They were founded in 1968 with their original building in Matthias itself. There was some need, along with what Mr. Haas wanted, to have something like that down in Baker. So they came to us. There were some of the volunteers, it's all volunteer, that came to the board and wanted to know if there was something they could build, where they could build. We, the A-Hall is basically under the Committee on Aging, leased the land that the original firehouse was built on, and that was put there in the mid-70s, shortly after we incorporated. We don't do anything with them. They stand on their own. Over time, the original building was replaced with what you might see over there as the current building, and it was still the Matthias Baker Fire Department Rescue Squad. And what happened after that is the commission wanted to create the Hardee County Emergency Ambulance Authority. And the commission purchased the building from us, basically us and the A-Halls, and changed the name. They are currently the Hardee County Emergency Ambulance Authority. And Derek Auld is the current director of that facility. Is Derek here? He said he might come. Okay, I do want to mention a couple of names that are associated with the firehouse. Mary Havishell, Sonia and Jenny Shell. They were some of the early volunteers that were involved in all this from 1968.
They're still there.
They are still there.
They are
They're one of the
still
few that we still have around, and they're amazing people. They're absolutely amazing people. Okay, you heard mention of the A-Haas Health Center. The A-Haas Health Center is also over in Baker. It was established in 1981, and Melissa Thompson is the current Chief Executive Officer. She could not be with us here today. However, we have two people that are representing Melissa. We have Brenda Thompson. She is the Executive Administrative Assistant, Brenda. And we have Stephanie Snap. She is the Administrative Assistant. They are a standalone organization. We did oversee them for a number of years as the Committee on Aging. They're pretty much standalone. And where they are today from that original facility and our original help to get them started. And, excuse me, I have to put my reading glasses on. When I get old, it's not any fun. Okay. I can see. Okay, they are a standalone organization. They now have facilities in Hardee County, in Baker, which is the administrative offices, Matthias, Wardensville, and Moorfield. And in another month or so, they're going to pick up Love Clinic as one of the subsidiaries. That's going to happen this year. In Grant County, they have a facility in Petersburg, and in Hampshire County, they have a facility in Romney. They also provide 13 school-based behavioral health services in the 3 counties. They are in the top 10% nationwide in clinical quality regarding outpatient care, and they are the #1 health center in West Virginia. With the next facility that came into being was what was originally called the A. Hobbs Nursing and Rehabilitation Center. That was opened originally in 1985. Again, it was something that Mr. Hawes wanted to see as part of his legacy. Pauline Haynes is the current executive director, and Virginia Combs is the social worker. Would you please show yourselves? They are a standalone organization other than E.A. Halls and through the committee donating the land for the facility to be built. They are standalone, and currently they are owned by Communicare Health of Ohio. And it's very, very interesting because Pauline, they wanted to change the name, of course, when they purchased the facility. Of course, it's our facility. They wanted to get rid of the E.A. Halls. And Pauline said no. She said, you can't do that. This is originated because of Edgar Hawes, and it must remain that way. And we thank you so much for that. Okay. The E.A. House Apartments, which are across the road from the facilities I've mentioned so far, all in Baker, was established in the early 2000s. Robbie Harper owns the property management company, as Phyllis mentioned. We couldn't manage it. And Eugene Wetzel is the current facility manager. Are you all here?
They just left.
Okay. And I realize that some people have to work, I'm retired. We do oversee, as Phyllis mentioned, the Hardee County Committee on Aging does oversee the apartments. Okay? That's what we did in Baker. We kind of did that first because of going after E.A. Hall's monies and properties to see if we could get all that started based on what he wanted. Here in Hardee County, here in Mooresville, the Committee on Aging was incorporated in 1973. It's in your program, but our mission statement to assist elderly persons of Hardee County in identifying and effectively developing their skills, potential abilities, and personal resources so they may continue to live an independent, purposeful, safe, and healthy lifestyle in their own home. I hope that some of you that haven't been here before see that we are making every effort to honor that mission statement. It's our original mission statement, and it's our mission statement today. Okay. As you heard, we had the land was obtained in the early 70s, 2 trailers. We actually purchased the old library building to have some more room, because there were only so many seniors you could put in a mobile home. And today, this facility was dedicated in 1990. It was dedicated specifically as the senior center under the Hardee County Committee on Aging. Mrs. Helmick, Phyllis is our executive director. Seth is the senior center, or she runs this facility. So pretty much Phyllis oversees the entire function of the committee. And the Senate takes care of all these employees and all these seniors that come here. Okay? Then that building over there, if you notice, that building was dedicated February 14, 2003. And as Phyllis mentioned, we wanted to do a wellness thing out on our little patio, and we were told, no. So we were given the opportunity to get that building built. And in the back third of that building is the Hardee County Wellness Center. And that particular, I want to make sure I get this right. Morgan C. is the current director of the Health and Wellness Center. Morgan, I know you're here. Did you bring somebody with you?
Chairman of the board.
One of the directors?
I'm one of the directors. yeah.
Okay. So that gentleman, they do have their own board of directors. We still kind of have some oversight, but they're running it, and they're doing a heck of a job. And the front part of the building, as you heard from the peanut gallery earlier, William Hours III, Bill Hours, is the director, or excuse me, the administrator of the health department. The front of that building is the Hardee County Health Department. And Bill runs it. Bill is very good at running it. Something that happened 50 years ago, Bill is concerned about. You know, we're now connected to the town sewer system, so we're okay. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. And as I don't know if you all know, but the Hardee County is planning on building a new, bigger, better health department across the road here. And they will be moving from there. They'll have bigger facilities, more things they can do for the community. I hate to lose them, but I still think a tattoo parlor would be perfect. Okay. Then we created the Michael Medical Building, which is the building that's kind of catty-cornered from here. It's behind the Health Department Wellness Center. That building was dedicated February 14, 2003. The lower floor has Hahn Medical Practice, Dr. Jerry Hahn. He is a dermatologist. We have Bosley Eye Care, Inc., and William Bosley III, Bill, and Emily Bosley are the optometrists in that facility. Were you all here? No, they were invited. It also housed the area that Phyllis says, if you all have anybody that you know that would want to rent it, she doesn't like my tattoo parlor idea. That area originally was the Nursing Training Center for Eastern Western Virginia Community and Technical College before that building was built up on Quarter Inch. So we actually housed them as well. Everything is kind of medical there. The upper floor previously housed Davita Kidney Care. It is takes care of flushing the blood. They've left us for their reasons. We're working very hard to get another one in there. And the West Virginia University Chronic Kidney Disease Clinic is upstairs. And Dr. Beth Pellegrino is the MD that runs that area. That's pretty much what we've been involved in. It's been interesting. And if anybody has any questions for us on any of that, and there's something else here.
Phil, excuse me, there's one other thing that we haven't mentioned that we should. As you know, we're in nutrition, in-home health care, and all the other components. One of the things that hasn't been mentioned, those of you that have ever visited the cancer center and needed to be a patient up there, there's 2 doors that says Hardee County Committee on Aging over the top, and that is solely responsible for Ms. Phyllis Young.
That is correct.
We had our dream of Hardee County having a cancer center. We have one, it just happens to be up in Grant County. They don't know it, but it's Hardee County.
It's something that Phyllis worked on for years to try to pull together and bring about.
30 years I've worked on it.
So we kind of satisfied ourselves that we were at least part of the one being in the hospital in Grant County, Petersburg. Okay? And I don't want to miss anybody, so let me make sure. Is Mayor Zuber here? Okay. Mayor Carol Zuber is the mayor of Moorfield, and she has donated a lot of things to us. She's very positive about what we do for the community. I wanted to mention her name. Mally Combs, she's not with us today, couldn't be. She's the executive director of the Hardee County World Development Authority, and we actually worked with her a number of times to pull together monies and different things to continue what we are doing. We also, Richard Dennis is here. Richard, you still here? Okay. Richard Dennis is the consumer advocate from the Attorney General's office. He was kind enough to be here. He didn't want to speak, but he was kind enough to be here. And am I missing anybody, please? David Workman. David Workman. David. How could I miss you? David Workman is sitting in the back there. David is the president of the Hardee County Commission. And they have also been instrumental in helping us do what we're doing. David, thank you.
Steve Shetro,
Yeah.
Commissioner Shetro.
Did I not write your name down? We're not having this. Okay, you are, sir.
Stephen Sheep, Hardee County Commissioner.
Hang on a second. Got to make sure everybody hears you.
Stephen Sheep from Hardee County Commissioner.
I never met you, Steve. And you did. Thank you. Thank you for all your work.
Over there, Senator Randy Smith.
To who?
Randy Smith, Senator Charleston.
I thought I mentioned him. I did not. Okay. Senator Randy Smith. There he is. See, I am not good at this at all. Oh, gosh. Okay. Yeah, so Senator Randy E. Smith is the chair of the Committee on Energy, Industry, and Mining. And he was kind enough to be here also. We suck everything we can out of the Senate, out of our delegates, out of the UPAA, out of the senior services. So we're here. Help us. Thank you. Seriously.
He has an open invitation. Anytime he's in the area, he's our special guest.
All of you do. You're welcome here anytime. We're not hiding anything. This was not a special bill that we required the seniors to put clothes on. We do this every day. Every day.
Speak for yourself.
Now, Phyllis, I was told I can't tell my jokes and I can't ask everybody to participate in karaoke. So I don't understand, but I will honor that. Okay. We have one last thing to do, I think. I hope I got everybody. And it was important to me personally to make sure that the facilities were recognized and the current administration of those facilities. We couldn't have continued without them doing what they did. So, let me find what I have here. Where'd Senate go?
I hear her voice. Give me that.
Okay, now, you all of you who may know Phyllis Hellman will understand that I'm taking my life in my hands for what I'm about to do. But I'm going to do it anyways. You'll see. We're, 7 months short of Phyllis being here for 50 years, but the board of directors wanted to honor Phyllis for her dedication and her service to this Committee on Aging.
Are you spending more of my money?
This is a small token of our esteem. Phyllis will tell you in a heartbeat that she didn't do any of this, that it's all of you, it's all of these facilities that made all this happen. And in a way, that's true. Phyllis did not lay the bricks. Phyllis did not do the wiring. But Phyllis, it was the guiding light. Well, I've got no doubt. Don't tell Bill. She was our guiding light. She was our rock from the beginning that had some concept of how all of this should go. Now, what we've given her a token of our esteem, and I can find where to pick here. Okay. It is an acrylic plaque. I can't really call it a
Oh,
plaque.
well, shoot.
But it
You know
presents-
what? I was planning a big celebration
Well,
and a party.
we can't tell you when that's going to happen.
No, you
This
just
was-
did it.
I don't know, because we spent your money. does say is recognition and award presented to Phyllis Hellman. Words cannot express how grateful we are for the commitment and determination you have shown in these past 50 minus 7 months years. Doesn't say that part. We would not be here without you. Hardee County Committee on Aging, November 15, 1973 to November 15, 2023. The pin, we know you like pins. We also gave you a pin, and inside the box it says this pin is to remind you someone is thinking of you and someone knows you're amazing.
I love the pen, but I'm really not going to put it on my dress.
Don't put it on that one. Don't put it on that one.
Thank you very much.
The board, okay, if there's, I pretty much covered everything I intended to. I definitely hope I recognized everybody. That's important to me. It's important to the board. Does anybody have any questions or has a joke that they're allowed to tell that I can't? Okay, on that, we appreciate you all so much for helping, for being a part of this, for making us who we are. And please continue doing your best to keep us straight. We're making every effort. We do have cake, we have punch. There is a table over here that has pictures. If you want to look at it, pretty much from 1973, Phyllis has met with every governor of West Virginia. And we have pictures to prove it. In some cases, she had the personal numbers, direct numbers for some of these governors. And she used them. Now, so you'll see some of the people, you may recognize some of them. Manchin, we have his representative here. He looked a little taller and a little slimmer. I realized he got wider, but then he got smaller, but it does look like it. So you're welcome to look at that. On the table in front, we have photo albums of many of the things that the Senior Center has done for some of the seniors over the years. Pin and tail on whatever, Halloween, the different celebrations we've had that we brought the seniors in. You're welcome to take a look at everything up there. If you have any questions, if you need to contact any of the facilities that I've mentioned, we know their information, their numbers. If you need to contact us for any reason, you know where we're at. Thank you all.
Thanks, Bill.